Hey everybody, this is Mike with Plus 8 Precision, and I'm going to do the wrap-up of the GE fridge. So stick with me, and I'll show you what I did to fix it or not to fix it. Alright, to continue the wrap-up, I'm going to show you this here, a quick view of the temperatures. Today marks 30 days since I tackled this project. And the temperatures have stabilized. I know for the first week and a half, the temperatures seemed to, move up, move down. Maybe as the fridge was settling back in, it was off for over a week, so I don't know. But here's the temperatures are pretty much stable, and they've been this way for a while now. This is 30 days after the initial start of the project. All right. All right, so here we are in the back of the fridge. It's kind of glary back here on the copper, but you can see I added this piece. Soldered here and soldered there. That wasn't the easiest task. For me, it was 4 times was the charm, till it would hold vacuum. There's nothing in the tray at the moment, but that's the piece I replaced. I didn't wind all the coils. The copper was too soft and started to crimp, so I just put one in the tray, similar to the manufacturer. And I guess that's about it. All I can show you back here. And this is just a traditional compressor. It's not an inverter type compressor or linear inverter, whatever the case may be, with a variable speed. This one only has one speed. I'm getting a lot of glare from my light. I don't know why I'm getting so much glare. That's the compressor right there. But that's the repair. And I'm just hoping that it lasts, especially with the holidays coming up. All right, let's look at some other stuff. Here we are with the continuation of the wrap-up. This table in front of me has some of the stuff that we use to repair and the item that failed. Some test stuff. So I'll explain this stuff. If you got any questions, obviously leave them in the comment section. I'm going to add the information for the items I use that I purchased. I am going to add the link to a video that was helpful to me and possibly will be helpful to you for doing some of the soldering on the hoses or tubing, whatever you want to call it. So let's get started here. First of all, this is the piece that you can buy when it's available. This is a special order piece, and you can see it's not incredibly complicated, but these series of shapes, these loops, are pretty complicated when it comes to bending tubing this small and getting it to pretty much stay full diameter in these radii. I believe I'll have to get a light to show you the area that failed, but this is, if you look at it on the end here, you can kind of see this line here fairly crisply. that's where it sat in that tray where the condensate would drip down off of the evap coils. And this was in there. And you can see the other line over here. So this stayed in there. I didn't even know that that's the way the design was. There's no way to maintain this. So it's not a maintenance item. It's not a maintenance issue. It's nothing that you can do to help prevent this. I don't think. I mean, the refrigerator just runs, right? You plug it in and hopefully it stays running. But this tube, I believe, is stainless. It's not magnetic. I don't think it's aluminum. It has copper color on this end. And if you recall back to the video, there was a lot of green material in that tray. Well, I'm assuming if you look closely, you can see a green tinge on this. So this was probably copper plated to help prolong its life, which it didn't really do. Not for me, it didn't. And I don't know if, the amount of times people open the refrigerator and the recycling or the heat thaw cycle, the defrost cycle, if any of that plays a factor. If your kid's standing there in front of the fridge with the door open for 10 minutes, does that matter? Versus, a single person who goes into the fridge once in a while. If we do a close-up here, you can see the area here. That's where the leak occurred. Now you can't see a hole, but you can see flaking there. So obviously it corroded through. And that's where it was leaking at. So I showed you earlier in this video how I fixed it. And hopefully it'll last me until I'm done or satisfied at least with the amount of time that I've had that fridge. To reiterate, 4 tries to solder these ends back to the sealed system. No expert. So I said the first video, this is not really a how-to, it's just how I got through the problem. This, after several failures, I dug up another video on YouTube of a suggested way, I think from a technical college, the way they recommend soldering the small diameters or any of the diameters in the sealed system. And they weren't using weld, and they weren't using like the hard silver solder rods, which I do have those. They were just using these items over here that I purchased to duplicate their process. And it worked. Once I bought this stuff, using my stuff that I've had around for years, I couldn't get it to seal. It just would not seal. And so I'll post a link to that video, and you can watch it yourself. And, and maybe it'll give you some hints. Maybe you're already doing it, but hopefully it helps out. That's why I make these videos, to try to help folks out. Why should we all struggle? But this is just a piece of brake line I have in the garage. This is part of the copper tubing that I bought from Home Depot. And, I went and followed the process, did this twice, and you can't twist this thing in the vise and break that joint. It's just rock solid. And I did cut one open right here on the joint, and you can see that the solder does flow all the way around it. So it's a good method. It worked well for me. It saved my ass. So this can, resealable can, O'Reilly's Special, a little over $6 a can. This one's still full. I didn't use this one, but it works. That's what's in the fridge right now. So nothing special. Didn't order anything off Amazon. Just went up to O'Reilly's and bought a can. They have one like this, which is just the 134A by itself, and then they've got one with a sealer in it. And I didn't want to try that one. I didn't want to get anything in the sealed system. I'm not a fan of using anything that's a seal leak or a stop leak product, no matter whether it's for your radiator, any kind of system on a car. I don't use it in the tires. It would have to be a grave emergency to use it in the tire. It usually causes more problems in the item you're trying to fix and get by than if you just, try to do the repair. So I wouldn't recommend it. My recommendation of how-to stuff, DIY stuff over a lot of years. And then these items I purchased from Menards. There you go. These weren't in the package together, but you can get them in the package together. This is the recommended silver solder and the recommended tinning flux. Worked great. Saved my ass. And I've got brushes around forever because I do other things here. And I did all of this just with a MAP gas torch. This is what I used. Had this thing for years. I do have oxyacetylene and oxypropane. I took this out using the oxypropane rig, but didn't need it. I think it heats up too much. Again, I'm not a professional, but it just seemed like it was heating up too much. This was more than enough heat to do the multiple times of me replacing the piece and taking it back out because it didn't seal and cleaning up the joints again. But, that's the wrap-up. Any questions you have, leave them in the comments. I'll be glad to answer whatever I can. For the 10th time, this wasn't a professional repair. I've never made a repair on this level. In my mind, I had nothing to lose. If I'm going to call out a repairman, not that no disrespect to the repairman because you guys know your trade, I don't. But anytime I've had to call out a repairman, the first thing they want to do, in just my experience, is soak you for everything you've got. If I had a guy that came out and did repairs and gave me an honest price, honest work, I would use a repairman. But in my experience, I don't know any repairmen. I don't have any repairman contacts. So for me, this was a nothing to lose situation. If it failed or it turned out to be more, I might have gone deeper, or I might have just thrown in the towel and paid the $400 or $500, whatever it took, because the holidays are coming up and you can't be without a fridge. In our situation, we had a couple other refrigerators and a deep freeze, so it wasn't terribly inconvenient, but it's always nice to have the fridge in the kitchen working as it should. So this is Mike with Plus 8 Precision. Hopefully you enjoyed this 2-part series. And if you gain something from it, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're approaching 100 subscribers, it's only taken me over a year, but I'm really thankful for it. I'm glad people like the channel and like the content. And I like sharing communication in the comment section with folks. Good or bad, thumbs up, thumbs down. If you like it, great. If you don't, maybe the next one you'll like. This is Mike with Plus 8 Precision. Thanks for watching.